What's up, y'all? What's up? I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot already. I'm coming in hot already. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great week. Happy Friday, everybody. This is K in the base from the next step in K. But let this countdown come through because my Jets are 2-1. All right, I'll let it go through. Go ahead. hmm Thank you for tuning in on this Friday. Happy foggy football, fantasy football, foggy Friday. Try saying that 5 times fast. But welcome to another episode of In the Basement with Next Step and K. On Friday, I am, of course, K from In the Basement with Next Step and K. Hopefully, everybody's having a great week and into a great week. It's been some good football going on. The Cowboys beat the Giants yesterday. Shout out to all the Cowboys fans out there. I know you're out there listening. Hopefully, you can tune in and whatnot. In the basement, phone number 302-844-8275. On Instagram, you can reach us at in_the_basement_podcast. YouTube, In the Basement Podcast, and also on Facebook, In the Basement Podcast. For some reason, it's not coming through on Facebook, but we can get that connected hopefully shortly. But yeah, everything is good. Been a lot going on. We have actually we're going to wish happy retirement to the great D Rose, aka Derrick Rose, or as Milwaukee Bucks know him as the Windy City Assassin. Basically, Milwaukee fans know about Derrick Rose when Derrick Rose was in his prime. Well, we're definitely going to get into that. But how's everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody's doing pretty much good. Getting ready for the weekend. My brother and I are going down to the Eagles Fan Fest tomorrow. Hopefully, the weather permitting, it should be pretty good out there. If not, hopefully they might have like indoor. Definitely want to go down there and get some crab fries, fellowship with fellow sports fans, even Eagles fans. I mean, I can fellowship with Eagles fans because they don't know I'm a Jets fan, so I'll just go in there with just a regular T-shirt, some shorts, or hoodie, whatever the case may be. Weather permitting. I won't say I'm a Jets fan. I ain't trying to get stomped out or anything like that, but I mean, yeah, man, I guess they do owe us from last year when we beat you guys. But other than that, just looking forward to having a great weekend. Shout out to everybody for having a healthy work week. Hopefully, you guys are doing okay. But let's get into to Derrick Rose or whatnot. Definitely want to wish a happy retirement for Derrick Rose. Great career, 14-year career. I mean, I got a chance, privilege to see him in high school and college. Most of us, in our era, back I would say like '05, '06, '07, got a chance to actually see him like in high school. Some guys that I know got a chance to play against him in AAU, where he was just almost damn near untouchable. With his AAU squad, I'm not sure if he ran with the Illinois Warriors. Not too sure about that. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more information on that. But I heard he was just like untouchable in AAU. Simeon, the same thing. He's actually one of the other. He's actually one of the other players to actually wear number 25 in Sammy. Even though, if you know about Chicago public league basketball, 25 is a very sacred number out there in Chicago. Rest in peace to the great Ben Wilson, number 25, the original 25. Of course, like in the league, you see a couple people from Chicago actually wearing that. I think Nick Anderson was one of the first ones who actually did it. Wearing, he didn't wear 25, but he wore. Did he wear 25? Did he wear 25? I think he wore 25 in college, if I remember correctly, when he played for University of Illinois with Kendall Gillen and the Flying Illini back in the day. Shout out to Kendall Gill, Kenny Battle, Nick Anderson. We see you, baby. But yeah, let me just get a quick rundown, of what he did, and a lot of people are saying, I'm asking, my brother and I, shout out to Dr. Kyle, the Black Psychologist podcast. We were actually discussing that yesterday about, should Derrick Rose be considered for the Hall of Fame? Now, Dr. Kyle says no, because of, he didn't play that many years for particular teams. And then also he was injured a lot too, as well. So that also plays a part. But I've seen people going to the Hall of Fame with less accolades, a couple of accolades. Youngest youngest MVP ever at I believe at 21 or 22 in 2011. Um, there are other accolades too. I'm going to go down those accolades too down the line soon. But now, me myself, I don't think he will go into the Hall of Fame. But I was watching Gil's Arena yesterday, and he said something I was pretty much along the same thought wave too. Is he's not a Hall of Fame to the NBA, like in the NBA's eyes, but he's a Hall of Fame to me, and I'm talking about me personally, Casey the Jets fan and Clippers fan. Um, he's a Hall of Famer to me because just from what I've seen over the course of his work. I've seen him when he wasn't healthy. I've seen him when he was healthy. I've seen him when he was in, AAU. I saw him in college, and just watching like the whole process, like amongst his peers in Chicago and everything like that, the whole, like the Northwest and stuff like that and everything. Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame. Definitely Chicago Bulls Ring of Honor for sure. Definitely. Ever after like I guess after Mike, Scotty, and them, I think the other number that needs to be retired in the Chicago Bulls Ring of Honor. I would say Luol Deng needs to get one. I believe Joakim Noah needs to get one, and Derrick Rose needs to get one. So, Chicago Bulls organization, please get that situated quickly so you can give these guys their just due as they like got you guys in the playoffs. I think a couple times. I'm not sure if they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Not too sure about that. I think they got as far as the semis. But yeah, definitely Hall of Fame, probably not. Chicago Bulls Hall of Fame, definitely. Chicago Hall of Fame, definitely for sure. There's not a whole lot of people that actually, and I think Derrick Rose lived up to the hype. Being the number one draft pick, being from Chicago, getting drafted by the Chicago Bulls, which already holds a whole lot of pressure just because of the guys that came through before, whether they were from Chicago or they played for Chicago. Like, you got Mark Aguirre, even though he didn't play for Chicago, but he was from Chicago. Isaiah Thomas is another one. Kendall Gill is another one. D Wade. D Wade's not really from Chicago. I think he's from like Thornwood or something like that, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, I think he did. I mean, I think he handled the pressure when he was in his prime. Prime D Rose. A lot of people look at the maybe the the Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota, Detroit Pistons D Rose when D Rose was like still kind of often injured, but I'm talking prime D Rose, maybe 2008 to like I'm gonna say it's like maybe like 2009, 2010 to around like maybe 2000, probably like 2013 or something like that. Uh, just a blur, strong, um, taller than he looks. Because like when I used to watch him on TV, I thought he was like 6'2" or something like that. Dude is legit 6'3". Can get to the bucket. Definitely a hard bucket getter. Like even his layups are strong. And I'm sure like you guys have played against guys in the basketball circles. I'm sure you guys have played against dudes that just like lay the ball up like extra strong for no apparent reason. Like that's Derrick Rose, and then he's going fast, and on top of that, like you're trying to defend him, and he's getting contact, and he's contorting his body too. So even if you can body him up, he can contort his body and turn, and shift and get through, and still finish strong. And let's not get started on the hops. I mean, I didn't see them body quite a few people, small forwards, power forwards, centers, other guards. I mean, you name it, you got it. And I'm talking about like in his couple years in Chicago. Also, when he was playing at Simeon, like I've seen a couple games he was playing at Simeon. Those games would be sold out. At Simeon they would have to like put it at a different venue, maybe at like Bradley or something like Bradley University or something like that, or the United Center where they played like the pub finals and things like that, and that's big. Like the pubs in any metropolitan urban, urban area is big. Like the pubs in, like the pubs in Philadelphia, that's big time. Like the pubs in New York, when they play at the Garden, that's big time. The pubs in Chicago, big time. Tough competition. Even in Cali, the same thing. Where they have like they don't necessarily play when they go like their state tournaments in Cali, but when you go into pubs, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more treacherous. Same thing in Jersey. Shout out to my people in Jersey, also in Baltimore and DC, get DMV. But let me just run down like a quick rundown of the Academy. Shout out to the great Ben Wilson, rest in peace. 2005, third team Parade All American. In '06, he was a fourth team Parade All American. Also in 2006, he was the Chicago Public League champ. Took his team to the finals and won. 2007, of course, he was Illinois' Mr. Basketball, which goes down to he was on All American team. On top of that, first team Parade All American, USA Today, first team All American. Then he went to Memphis over there with John Calipari. He was like, to be honest with you, he was actually supposed to go to, I think he was supposed to go to either Indiana or Illinois. I think those were both like verbal agreements. But then somehow, some way, World Wide West, John Calipari, say no more. World Wide West was like, look, I got somebody you need to see. Maybe we can get him over at Memphis. And there you go. So story at Memphis. Let's see. I think he was if I remember correctly, I know he was freshman of the year. I think he was Conference USA freshman of the year. Also, he was Conference USA All Freshman team. Then, of course, they went to the Final Four. Shout out to Memphis, even though I believe they had the NCAA record for most wins in a season, which is I think like 37 or 38. I think it's like 38. I think yeah, 38 wins. Also, he was Conference USA freshman of the year, of course. All Conference USA first team. Then he went to the tournament, all region team, all tourney team, AP All American third team, also the NABC third team All American. I mean, it just goes on and on. Like I said, most victories like in one season for any team, which is 38. I think Duke had maybe like 36, I think. But unfortunately, I think Duke holds that record now because those wins were vacated because Memphis was hit with some sanctions, something in regard, from what I heard, in regard to like some testing and whatever the case might be. Like testing wasn't like valid, it wasn't legitimate, so they took the wins away. So basically, they what they're saying is they like he played and he wasn't eligible. Basically, at the end of the day, they say he wasn't eligible. So you're playing with an ineligible player who goes all the way to the Final Four, and they take those wins away. One way to hurt a college is to take away their legacy. Same thing that happened in UMass. Same thing that happened to Michigan and a couple other teams out there. But yeah, unfortunately, they were vacated. But D Rose was like, "Look, I'm out of here." Then his first overall pick in the 2008 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls. Of course, he was All Rookie First Team, Rookie of the Year, three-time NBA All Star, All NBA First Team in 2011, and of course, the youngest player to be MVP at 2022, if I'm not mistaken. In 2011, also he got two gold medals with the FIBA in 2010 and 2004. And it's pretty much a wrap. Played, point guard, sometimes shooting guard for the Bulls, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Detroit Pistons, and the Memphis Grizzlies. So many highlights that I can go over in high school, college, and pro with D Rose. Hopefully, when I get a chance to talk with Larry on Sunday, we can talk more about that. Some of your favorite, D Rose moments. And if you want, you can jump in the chat. Tell me what some of your favorite D Rose moments are. Like, was it the 50 points that he got with Minnesota? Was it some of the dunks that he caught on people? Was it some of the buzzer beaters that he did against Milwaukee? Because those were some of my favorite matchups. This is when League Pass was on and popping. Many matchups between like Milwaukee and Chicago, and then there were times where D Rose would play in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee was cheering for Derrick Rose. That was like, that was almost his arena basically. Um, so, but yeah, I think he's, like I said, the answer to my first question is, unfortunately, he's not Hall of Fame worthy. But to those who've seen Derrick Rose, he's had a pretty Hall of Fame type career if you put everything together with, high school, college, and pro. Just watching, just watching his game mature, watching him get stronger. But unfortunately, it was hampered by the injuries. He's probably going to be in that Penny Grant Hill, Brandon Roy type conversation. Like, oh, if his knees were healthy, if he didn't get hurt as much, he'd be dangerous. But he was like, in his time, we got a chance to, we were privileged to watch, D Rose as a Bull, then to see him transition over to the Knicks and to Cleveland, Minnesota. Even though he was kind of like, he might have lost a step or two, but but he was definitely serviceable everywhere he went. Um, he held his head up, despite the injuries, despite the things that the press would say about him, saying like he's washed, he's a bust, he's this and that, and he came back through and through, and I got emotional when he dropped that 50-point game in Minnesota. Like it was great to watch. It was great to watch, and I was just like, because he worked so hard to get where he was at, and just to come out there and drop 50, like on the NBA level, dropping 50 is almost like dropping 100. Especially if especially what he's been through. And some people will never get 50 points as a pro in a game. You know, that's a dream. But shout out to Derrick Rose. Chicago goes maybe at a couple AAU games or something like that in Philly when he's maybe he might have like an AAU team or something like that. So hopefully more to see. Shout out to the great Derrick Rose, great career, and I wish you nothing but the best. Going forward, and can't wait to see you. Good. All right, let's get to football now. Shout out to everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good fantasy week. I know I didn't, but I'll take that though because my Jets won. We won. I believe we won by like 10 or something like that. I think we won by 10. But so far we're like, we're like 2-2. I mean, excuse me, 2-1. Hopefully we can go 3-1 against the Broncos. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So on Thursday, if you didn't see it, the Cowboys beat the New York Giants 20-15. Dak Prescott passed for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dallas's Rico Dotto had 46 yards. Ezekiel Elliott had 19 yards. It's like Ezekiel's running in quicksand for some odd reason. Receiving wise, CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions, 98 yards for 1 touchdown. Also, Rico Dotto had 1 reception for 15 yards for 1 touchdown. For the Giants, Danny Dance had 281 yards, 1 interception. Devin Singletary rushed for 24 yards. He was the highest one who had 24 yards in the game. League Neighbors, 12 receptions, 115 yards. Wendell Robinson had 11 receptions for 71 yards. And Darius Slay had 3 receptions for 56 yards. Shout out to the Cowboys in the few weeks, which is very important. Very important win for them. Let's get into it. Coming up for Sunday's games, the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to match up at 1 o'clock. My pick with this is, well, I think the Saints are going to win this because at least they don't have to go up against a Vic Fangio defense, and and they can get back on the good foot. So I got the Saints winning this. Saints 26, Falcons 17. Next up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at Carolina. Carolina is what I think they're 1-2, I believe, because did they beat the Raiders? I think they beat the Raiders last week. Well, I mean, still the Panthers are the Panthers, and Bengals are looking for a win. And look, it's the perfect opportunity to get back on the good foot. Full sweep across the board for me. I got the Bengals winning this by a lot. Bengals 34, Bengals 34, Panthers 16. They might not even get 20 on this one. Next game up at 1 o'clock, we got the Los Angeles Rams against the Chicago Bears. Shout out to Daryl sorry ass Bears and Pastor Sean's sorry ass Bears. With this one, this was a tricky one. Um, but I'm definitely taking I'm taking a veteran QB with this one. Even though if you have DJ Moore in your fantasy lineup, definitely start him. But I'm definitely taking the veteran QB with this win. I got the Rams winning by 4. Rams 23, Bears 19. Up next, this is like quietly the download game of the week for me. I'm definitely going to tune into this game. The Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers, or how they say in Coming to America, the Packers of Green Bay. Um, with me, see, I'm not sure if Jordan Love is playing this week. I heard that he is. I'm not too sure about that. So if you have Jordan Love in your fantasy lineup, just have a substitute quarterback ready by like 11:30, just to make sure. But what I do know is Sam Darnold is on one. He's been throwing the pill. So with this one, I'm definitely taking the Vikings 33-21 over the Packers. Expect Justin Jefferson with 2 touchdowns. And whoever has Justin Jefferson in your fantasy, you're going to be happy this week because Sam Darnold's just going to be throwing that thing. He probably told Justin Jefferson, "I'm just throwing that joint. Just get open, please, please get open." Like I said before, Vikings 33, Packers 21. Got this. Next game up would be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Kyle's Colts. Shout out to Dr. Kyle. For some odd reason in my fantasy, AR5 is just like constantly stinking it up, but he's making things happen. In this case, like I said before, like I don't care if I lose all. I don't care if I go 0-17 in my fantasy league. So long as the Jets win, I'm happy. But AR5, he's going to make it interesting. Shout out to Anthony Richardson. He's going to make it interesting, but the Steelers are going to grind it out pretty much. Get everything muddy and dirty. Unless they're playing at the excuse me, I'm sorry, they're playing in Indianapolis. Okay, this might be different. I still have the Steelers winning. I got the Steelers. It's going to be a low score. I got a 21-17 Steelers, and Steelers remain undefeated. So yeah, shout out to the Steelers. Oh, shout out to Dean Marsh too. Shout out to Dean Marsh. Get well soon because I know Dean Marsh is a diehard Pittsburgh fan. I don't know why. But shout out to Dean March. Get well. Coming up next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Jags will make it interesting. Don't get me wrong. You're definitely going to make it interesting. But I think from what I heard, no Evan Ingram in the lineup. He's not playing. That's going to leave a hole in the mix. CJ Stroud's going to show off because we're playing in Houston. He's going to show off at home. I see like a 250 plus yard game coming from him. And they're playing at home. He's going to show off. I see the Texans with the win. Texans 31, Jaguars 20. Got that. All right. Now, the game of the day. Denver Broncos at my New York Jets. Aaron is getting better every week. Every week he's just progressing. It's getting better and better. I don't want to curse it or anything like that. But he's getting better every week, and it looks like the Jets defense is starting to like finally gain his form and get their steps. I got my Jets winning at MetLife. I'm sorry. It's. I mean, we're streaking right now. We're 2-1. Hopefully, we go 3-1. We come out of these first 4 games 3-1. That's pretty darn good. I wish we can come out 4-0, but I'm wishing for a little bit too much. Defense is definitely going to show up at MetLife. Fireman Ed and the rest of the Jets faithful are going to be there cheering us on. I got my Jets winning. Broncos 14, Jets 24. Thank you, Jets. Also, another game of the week for Eagles fans. Hopefully, going to be getting out of church early because they're probably going to end it early. Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the rematch from the playoffs from last year. This is definitely bulletin board material. I hope most of the Eagles have had this game circled on the calendar. I know they do. But now this time they have an equalizer. He goes by the name of Saquon Barkley. So what you got to do give the ball to Saquon Barkley in the beginning. Everything else would be pretty easy. I think they have enough. They're a little bit banged up, but I think they have enough personnel to cover Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Um, so I have the Eagles winning. This is definitely the get back game. I got the Eagles winning 34, Buccaneers 21. Okay. Up next, Washington Commanders at the Arizona Cardinals. Another slept on game of the week. This is the game I'm really going to be paying attention to, really be honest with you, especially fantasy wise. I really feel like a total butthead because I traded away Marvin Harrison Jr. He's probably going to have like the game, the game of the year, which he already had. Um, like I said, the rookies they're gonna get it on. This is going to be a great rookie showcase. Expect some some fumbles, couple mistakes here, but you're going to see a lot of breakout plays. Especially you're going to see a lot of breakout plays from Jalen Daniels on Washington, and then you're definitely going to see some great catches from Marvin Harrison Jr. Um, but the Cardinals get the win though. They eke out the win. They win by 3. I got the Cardinals winning 28-25 over the Commanders. Up next, we got the New England Patriots at the San Francisco 49ers. I believe this is probably a 4 o'clock game. Um, 49ers are going to win this game pretty much in the second quarter. They're not going to look back. They're not going to mess up. Um, they might run up like 41 on these guys. It's a possible 40 burger, but I got the 49ers winning 38-17. Also, if you have Brendan Ayuk in your lineup for your fancy lineup, this is definitely the game to start them. Um, Up next, we got the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders. My pick for this one is pretty much going to be a defensive game. Um, both quarterbacks are kind of a question mark. I definitely know Deshaun Watson. He's a question mark. He's been playing pretty bad. It's pretty going to be more of like a defensive breakout game. Who's going to It's going to be either probably Myles Garrett, probably be the game-winning turnover or something like that. Um, who knows? But I still have the home team winning because I believe they're playing in Vegas. And I'll just take the home team on this one. Raiders 23, Browns 19. And up next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chargers. Um, Chiefs have been getting by. Chiefs have been getting by, but you know what happens when you're winning games by like 3, 4 points and stuff like that. This is going to be one of those games where the Chargers actually get out ahead, and the Chiefs think they can turn it on and try to come back, but they come back short. I got the Chargers pulling off the upset. So for FanDuel, whatever wagering website that you guys use, pick the Chargers on this one. I got the Chargers winning 24-19 over the Chargers. Then next game up, I believe this is the Sunday night game. We got the Buffalo Bills with the Baltimore Ravens. This is probably going to be a possible future matchup in the playoffs for these two teams. It's going to be a close one, of course. You got the prime time QBs, prime time personnel. It's going to be definitely going to be a close one, unless like Buffalo just comes out real stagnant in the beginning. But it's going to be a close one with the Ravens playing at home. I got the Ravens by 6. Ravens 34, Bills 28. And coming up next will be the Monday night game. We got the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. This is whoa. This is a little tricky. It's tricky because personnel issues. Both teams are limited pretty much. Miami is in like almost possible disaster mode, pretty much because of the quarterback situation. Tennessee Titans, same thing. They have a rookie quarterback. He's out there making mistakes. He's learning on the job. Just spilling coffee all over the place. I got the Dolphins winning, even though they're their home team. I got the Dolphins winning 20-17 at home. And then up next, the next doubleheader, the second half of the doubleheader, Monday Night Football. We got the Seattle Seahawks and Detroit Lions. This is actually a good one. I'm actually definitely going to be paying attention to this one. Definitely going to be a test for the Seahawks in regards to the Detroit Lions. I believe Sam Laporta is playing. I heard he had an injured ankle. I'm not sure if he was injured. I think he hurt his ankle. But the difference between hurt and injured. Hurt means you can play. Injured means you can't play. So definitely look into that. If you have Sam Laporta on your fantasy squad, he might be questionable, but don't don't look too. I mean, don't take too much into that. He's definitely going to be playing. This prime time is Monday Night Football. Detroit's been waiting for this. Yeah, the Lions are going to air it out anyway. They're going to grind it out in the first quarter. Then they're going to start airing it out in the second and third, and then in the fourth quarter, just going to just finish it off. To pretty much like around and pound, basically. I got the Lions winning on this one, 31-21, and for fantasy football. I'm not going to do the whole roster of starting and sit them, but these I'm just going to give you a sit them. These players you should sit, and this is just me. This is not not everybody's opinion. This is just my opinion. This is from what I've seen on my roster. What I would do if you have these running backs, if you have Javonte Williams, Amir White, and J.K. Dobbins, sit them. The reason why I'm sitting Javonte Williams and I'm sitting Javonte Williams because they're playing against the Jets. Like the Jets have a pretty good run defense. They can stop it. Don't be fooled by what happened against that San Francisco game in the beginning. That's the first game that the Jets played. Everybody's playing helter skelter around that time. Samir White, he's playing against the Browns. The Browns definitely have a great run defense. He's not going to get a whole lot of yards. Plus, he might do that by committee until Nick Chubb comes back. So definitely sit him. Definitely sit J.K. Dobbins. I think he's playing against the Chiefs. And yeah, definitely sit him. Wide receivers, I didn't get any quarterbacks to sit. Pretty much start whoever your quarterback is. They should be okay. For the wide receivers, definitely sit Cortland Sutton. Like I said, of course, they're playing against the Jets. Hopefully, our Jets secondary can kind of quiet him down. Cortland Sutton's been playing pretty good for the last couple games, but hopefully we can kind of like quiet it down. Playing at MetLife can get loud in there. Can't hear the signals. Really can't concentrate. Definitely sit him against the Jets. Also, unfortunately, since Tua's not there, you're definitely going to have to sit Jalen Waddle. You're definitely going to have to sit him against the Titans, even though it shouldn't be a problem getting the ball out there. But the thing is, that quarterback doesn't know Jalen Waddle's like his tendencies as of yet. They're not on the same page as of yet. So I would actually sit him against the Titans. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much who I'm sitting. So if you have these guys, Javonte Williams, Amir White, J.K. Dobbins, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, sit them. Sit them. You heard it here first from Kay. I'm pretty good in fantasy, kind of. I'm 0-3 in one of them. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, that's all pretty much I wanted to do. Just give you a quick rundown or my prediction, just in case I don't make it on Sunday. These are my predictions, and you do with it what you want. Other than that, you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully, I see you guys down there at FanFest with the Eagles. Also, I'm going to try to get down to. I'm going to try to get to Imhotep on Saturday. I heard they're having like an open run out there, so I'm definitely going to see like what's going on, how the kids are doing down there. One of the young ladies actually does. She actually does like early college over here, here at like Esperanza. So it's always great seeing her. She pretty much put me down and let me know that they're having like open runs tomorrow. I believe they start like around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, definitely hopefully I get a chance to see you guys down there. If not, if you guys see you guys at FanFest, or I'll see you on the pod on Sunday with Lair on In the Basement with Next Step. So, like I said before, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Friday. Try to stay indoors. Just coming down out there. Rent a movie, watch a couple series and whatnot. And I'll see you then. So, of course, In the Basement, phone number 302-844-8275. On Instagram, you can find us at in underscore the period basement underscore podcast. YouTube, In the Basement Podcast, and on Facebook, Sounds So Good You Got to Name It Twice, In the Basement Podcast. This is your boy K from In the Basement with Next Up and K, Jets fan and Clippers fan and Maryland Terrapins fan. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great one, guys. Be safe.